Hi, welcome to Conversations on Caring. I'm Bev Clow. Today I'm speak with my friend Laurette Foggini. Laurette is a caregiver to her mom who is 93 years old. Laurette shares with us things that are helpful to say and do when visiting both her mom and her, and she shares with us her experience of being a caregiver. Laurette is also the author of The Song in Lola's Heart. This is a wonderful book that explains to the youngest of readers what it means to care for someone who you love who has dementia. Hi, thank you so much for being part of this conversation on caring. Today I'm here with Laurette Foggini. Thank you for being here, Laurette.
You're welcome.
And we're going to talk to you about your caregiver experience. So share, how are you a caregiver?
So I was up to now calling myself a long distance caregiver, which is definitely what I was doing uh, for a long time, kind of handling more of the things that my brother, who's local, didn't want to handle: the finances, the administration, the legal issues that came up. And then when mom became more physically challenged, that's when I became more of a hands-on caregiver. So my long distance caregiving has now turned into, someone challenged me on the long distance part. They said, you're not long distance if you're there so much. And I actually calculated how much time I've spent in New York with hands-on caregiving, and it's about 65%. So I
Wow.
guess I'm a long distance part-time caregiver. So what I do is I have been going back to New York, depending on how she is, staying for longer periods of time. When she's stable, and it's every day is different, then I've been really coming in so my brother can get a break.
Mhm.
So this last time, as soon as I arrived, he took off and I was on duty for 2 weeks. So that was kind of full time.
It sounds like it's a lot of care, like tag team caregiving.
It is. And she's still, she is living with dementia. There's that. And she has mobility issues, but she's still getting up and out of bed. But she needs a lot of standby assistance. So a lot of help with showering, some help with toileting, dressing, getting
Yeah.
around, things like that.
What's the most challenging thing when you are long distance?
I think for me, the most challenging thing is my mother is allowing me to do help her with a lot of the personal care, because I'm the oldest daughter, and so I've gained her trust. Um, the biggest challenge is knowing that while we have some respite care in place, I don't know if they're doing as much as I am willing to do on personal care.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know that she's probably not allowing my brother to help. So I need to be able to, um, that's one aspect of letting go, but it's also letting go of what I believe might be the way to care for her, including more help in the home. And whereas my brother is basically saying, hey, this is my domain, I'm here, so let me manage that part of it. So it's really about letting go about the quality of care that she may be receiving when I'm not there, because it's still okay. It's just not what I would do. And
Right.
letting go of controlling how things are handled on a
When you're not
day-to-day
there.
basis when I'm not
Right.
there.
Right. What are actions that people take that are helpful and supportive to you as a caregiver?
I think offering to visit is a big thing. My mother has always been very enthusiastic about visitors and calls.
Mm.
So and especially around family, cut nieces, nephews, more so than friends. So the biggest help has always been when a cousin has said, hey, we want to come and visit your mom. Because if I know it brings her so much joy, and it takes some of the pressure off of trying to get her places, which is becoming more and more challenging. So when that happens, it's been huge. And even the cousins, some cousins call and she
Hmm.
just gets really excited. But having them do it without asking, is
Yes.
great. Like, just not waiting for me to invite them over or asking them to call, but just saying, hey, I want to come visit this day. Is that okay? and also having them be flexible. It may not be a good day.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And what are things when people visit your mom, what are things that are helpful to say to her and helpful to say to you?
um, to I think to her anything. I mean, she just is happy to see them. So things that are helpful are, anybody that from a family perspective that expresses how much they care about her and
Mm.
how much she means to them. Um, not asking questions on her day to day because she's not going to remember, but really just telling her a simple story about a memory they had about her
Mm.
and how she's made them feel is by far the best thing. As far as me, it's more bring the bagels.
Yes. Don't
Because
ask, can I bring anything? Just
yeah,
arrive with the bagels.
tell me you're going to bring, what we're eating, because otherwise, not only am I dealing with getting her ready and making sure she's okay and had enough sleep, but then I'm also trying to figure out what to serve you. So if you just bring the bagels, it's nice. That's
That's
really
very
helpful.
helpful. What do you wish people knew about caregiving for people on the outside? What do you think people should know that they don't know as an outsider?
As a prospective family caregiver.
Yeah.
So I think two things. One is that a lot of people think they can't do it. So they'll look at
Mm.
me and say, "Oh my God, I wish I could do what you're doing. I can't because I didn't have that relationship with my mother or father or whoever it is."
Yeah.
And I think the reality is it changes when you're needed. I didn't
Mm.
have this relationship with my parents where I always wanted to be there and help. But when you're in a situation where they really need it, you're going to surprise yourself what the compassion you find within you. And then the other thing is that it may seem overwhelming, but it's not. I mean, I remember the first night she came home and I was like, how am I going to get her to the bathroom, or how am I going to help her with the shower? And those things start coming to you with
Mm.
experience. There's certain things that you need training,
Hmm.
but the day to day, if you've been a mother or if you've had a pet,
Yeah.
truthfully, you get used to it. Some of it's not pleasant, but you do get used to it and you get better and it's not as scary.
And it sounds like you learn how to step up into that role.
Absolutely.
Um, so is there anything else you want to share with us that you have now that you are caring for your mom? How has it impacted you?
Um, well, I think it's forced me to check in a lot with
Mhm.
myself, um, and being a little more vulnerable, recognizing that I don't have unlimited patience. Um, and that's okay too. So I need to be proactive when that happens. Okay, I'm starting to lose it here. I need to do something to get back to my calm place, to my you know, what I need to do for myself. And actually having a real routine when I'm there so that I feel like I have, my time,
Mhm.
and it's anticipating. It's like, I know this day could be crazy, so it's quiet now. Let me take that time. So I think for me, it's gotten me a lot more structured
Mm.
in how I manage my free time, because it's not free.
Mhm.
It's actually
Yeah.
costs a lot.
Right.
So that's been really positive for me as an experience.
Thank you. One more question. Will you tell us about Lola?
My name is Lola. I was a showgirl. Actually, she's not a showgirl. So Lola is a young girl who has a very tight relationship with her grandmother. That's her best friend. And her grandmother develops dementia. And so Lola has to learn how to still be a caregiver and a loving granddaughter while dealing with what is described to her as a tired brain.
Mm.
So the goal is to really encourage young children to not to shy away when something like that happens, but really lean in, and all the benefits that they can bring by just loving someone, whether they have dementia or a physical disability. Because I think most, not only young people, but even older people, as someone they love grows older and their hearing goes or their memory goes, they tend to leave them alone, which is the last thing that you want to do. You want to be there and meet them where they are. So that's Lola's goal, is to encourage more people to do that.
Thank you so much, Laurette. Well, I really appreciate your insights as a not really a long distance caregiver, really more of a, I'd say, a forever caregiver, sometimes in the house, sometimes at a distance, but really always present. And thank you so much for sharing Lola and her story with us. So thank you so much, Laurette. Really
You're welcome.
appreciate your perspective today. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.